the Financial Services Union has produced a policy paper calling for a banking forum involving all stakeholders, both in Northern Ireland and the Republic. Why is it needed, and what processes do you envisage and in terms of outcome, processes leading to an outcome?
I think it's needed because banking is such a central part of our economy and our society. And we know that trust levels in banks are very, very low. We know that the change agenda in banks has been very, very bank driven without any real stakeholder involvement. So we initially called for the establishment of a banking forum so that these issues could be debated in a way that is transparent and inclusive and allows people have an input into shaping policy in terms of the future of banking. And there's so much happening, a lot that we can see above the water, the consolidation that's taken place, the market players that are leaving, what we saw with the tracker mortgages and the behaviours of the banks and so forth. But there's an awful lot that we're not seeing. Artificial intelligence, the impact of digitisation, that we don't see but impacts on us directly, algorithms deciding whether we get a loan or not. So all these things are more than worthy of a debate and policy initiatives. Key issues: access to cash. ATMs being sold off, ATMs being pulled out of walls and being denied to communities, towns without an ATM. And so a whole debate around access to cash was required. Other jurisdictions, they're legislating for access to cash. Our ATMs aren't regulated, they're regulated in other jurisdictions. They could pop charges on our ATMs in the morning. Nobody could do anything about it. So that was why all these issues coming together, plus the issue in terms of staff, gender pay, endemic in the sector, over 30% according to the CSO. So all these things needed to be debated and put out and given oxygen so that society could debate them. And so North and South, we campaigned for a forum, and glad to report in terms of Northern Ireland that the forum was held and a really good debate around the key issues up there, which are very, very similar to down here. And down here, the Minister for Finance took the decision to establish a forum. There was an event in Tullamore where, for the first time ever, all stakeholders, NGOs, consumer groups, community groups, trade unions and banks were in the rooms together debating the issues around banking. That led to a public consultation document, which has the public consultation is now closed, and we're now waiting the report from the Department of Finance on the future of banking. What are you hoping will come out of that? I think key coming out of it is how change comes about in the finance and banking sector. We have to address the issue of change, and where issues like branches are closed or services are withdrawn without any discussion or dialogue or assessment of the impact. In other jurisdictions, there has to be an environmental impact if a branch is going to be closed and what that entails for the community. And so we're hoping that central to it will be around the change agenda. Our submission talked about stakeholder banking, and where stakeholders have a say in banking, where, like the financial regulator in the UK, who has recommended that worker directors should be on boards of banks.